to jail. There it is. That should have solidified it. That should have solidified. No one's yo, here's my problem, right? My problem with this chick is that no one's even saying anything. She's self-reporting. She's self-sabotaging. She dry snitching. What's going on, YouTube? Bessie here, and today we're gonna be doing another reaction. But before we get into it, I just want to let y'all know, I don't care who you are, what you've been through, what you into, or what you do. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. And with that being said, let's get into it. And today we got racist killer realizes cops found her disturbing secret. This video is by Insanity Body Cam. Alrighty, I love watching body cam footage, so this is gonna be the first time I'm reacting to it on this channel. But hey, we not gonna say no more. We just gonna get into it. Let me in.
Have you talked about killing someone? Oh, Lord. No, seriously.
This is 30-year-old Victoria Worth being questioned about her husband's death.
Okay. Well, whatever she's being accused of, she did it. Cause why do you have an AK-47 just in the crib, right?
Months earlier, she had begun planning her
I'd rather it looks like it's the only way. Devil Daddy 13.
husband Shane's murder, determined.
There's a scent. You know, I'm finna describe something to y'all, right? This guy smells like Newports, right? He drives a 2009 white Chevy with a considerable amount of mud, like caked onto it, right? A pickup truck, obviously, right? There definitely smells like somebody in his family has meth. We don't know who, but somebody in his family has it, right? And somebody that's under the age of 30 is bald and has that weird little like goatee thing that this archetype of person has. Like that's y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
To make it look like a... That was until Shane's final words turned the investigation upside down.
Okay.
Shane, can you hear me?
I didn't do it.
Okay, everything will be all right.
Victoria believed she had orchestrated the perfect murder, securing her husband's house, car, and fortune. But eventually, her arrogance would not only seal her fate, but also bring down the people around her.
Jeez. Yo, these people look exactly how you'd expect them to look. Yo, I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad.
I just wish you would get in an accident, die or something. There's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like it's...
This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
She lying. She lying. 43 days
At
before
around
an arrest.
2:30 a.m. on September 26th, police in Minersville, Utah received a call from a resident who reported hearing a gunshot inside his garage. Corporal Cox quickly rushed to the scene, unaware that he was stepping into a carefully staged murder.
Hello!
Yo, it'd be exactly how, like, yo, why is this house is so dirty?
Beaver 6, go ahead and send medical in. We're in the garage.
Yo, I've said this before, I could never be a cop, bro. Like, imagine the type of, cops have to see this type of stuff on a day-to-day. Real talk. I have a couple of friends who are like, well, I have one friend in particular who's a first responder, right? And I know some other people who like work security and stuff like that. I could never do one of those jobs, bro. Cause this is the type of stuff they see on the day-to-day. Like police, first responder. This is the type of the stuff they see on the regular. Alrighty, this is the type of stuff they see on the regular, yo. So respect to all of my friends and all the people that do that type of stuff.
All right, man, I got some help coming for you. Got one maybe through and through braid, through the chest, so we're gonna have to expedite some things here.
One through and through in the chest.
This is Shane Davis. He's still alive, but drifting in and out of consciousness.
So he wasn't even black!
But before EMS could get him to the hospital, Shane managed to mumble something, a crucial detail that would become the first major clue in uncovering everything.
Looks like he's walked out to here. Just keep talking to us, Shane. You'll be good.
Shane, my name's Christine. I'm with the ambulance. If things go quiet, just keep going.
We're just gonna roll you back, Shane, okay?
Okay. He said he did not do it to himself.
Okay.
With Shane insisting he didn't shoot himself, detectives began to consider that this was not a self-inflicted act, but attempted murder. The officer counted 6 people in the house while they were still
And y'all were all in the same room?
As witnesses, their strange behavior and absence of a gun would soon raise suspicion.
There's about 6 people in the house.
Y'all are all in one room. So there's 6 of
You guys
y'all
know Shane to own a
in
pistol?
one room.
He does own a pistol.
Okay.
It's in my room with him. I'm married to him.
I don't see one out here anywhere, so I'm wondering where it's at. Nobody's seen a gun or anything like that. He's got a gunshot wound to his chest.
As Shane fights for his
Yo, y'all were cooked the second they looked in the room and all 6 of y'all was in there.
life on the way to the hospital,
At least 2 of
detectives
y'all
turn
should've
their
left the
attention
crib.
to his wife, Victoria Worth. What officers don't realize is that Victoria's mind is fixed on a dark thought. If Shane dies, she would inherit his house, car, and fortune. With this twisted fantasy in mind, Victoria would go on to unwittingly reveal just how much she despised Shane.
Alrighty.
Is he gonna be okay?
I'll tell you later. That's all I can say. Was Shane arguing with anybody tonight?
Just a little bit with me over a stupid comment.
Yeah.
He's been drinking nonstop. He was driving. I told him to come home. He needed to stop his. That is a fight that has come out quite a bit between the 2 of us, is drunk driving because of his ticket last time, which scares me. I have a
There's a ticket
2-year-old
I
daughter
gotta
in the
take
home,
care
and
of
the only
after
comment
this.
I had made that if he entered the home, that I would protect at any cost necessary for my daughter's sake.
Sure.
Victoria claims that she and Shane got into a heated argument earlier that day.
Alrighty,
she
notice
also
it.
brings up his bad habit of drinking and driving, almost as if to shift blame, although no one has accused her of anything yet. But with 5 other friends still in the house, 5 more potential suspects entered the picture. But this is when Victoria starts throwing out even more bizarre theories further deep.
Newport's trailer. One person in this photo, don't know who, but one person in this photo got blue Cookie Monster pajamas.
Deepening the officer's suspicion that this wasn't a self-inflicted death at all.
Guys, any reason for anybody to cause Shane any harm? Anybody that may be involved with this that we might want to look at?
I don't know. He's got his fair share of enemies. Some people have issues with him because of him getting physical with me a while back in the past. He had left. He was drunk. I told him bring his ass home because last time he went out drunk driving, he ended up in jail.
So, guys, did anybody see Shane with a gun? Did he make any comments about harming himself?
I don't know. He's been drinking, and when he gets drunk, he gets kind of dumb. When he gets to drinking, he doesn't always make the smartest decisions.
6 of y'all in the crib. Everybody in the same room. Right? Peep game. Everybody in the same room. 6 of y'all in the crib. Nobody has a gun on him. Dead man says from his mouth he didn't shoot himself. Right? Yo, this is like the dumbest group of murderers, because they're all accomplices. Just being in the house and not saying anything makes you an accomplice. They're all accomplices to this murder. These got to be the dumbest group of murderers anyone could be, bro. 6 of y'all in the crib, 5 people in one room. Nobody, and all y'all swear up and down nobody sees anything. Yeah, that is just too convenient.
He has been going through a lot lately.
Did anybody see Shane with the gun? Brandon, you discovered him?
I discovered him originally.
Notice how Victoria stays glued to her phone while answering the police, almost as if she's reading from a script. With each claim, she further damages Shane's reputation, portraying him as an abusive husband with many enemies. Corporal Cox is struck by the housemates' matching lack of reaction, completely unfazed by their friend being shot in the chest. But as the officers start analyzing the crime scene, they uncover a clue that turns the residents from witnesses into prime suspects.
There's blood all the way around to the corner. Yeah, look at this. Here. He's come out to this point. Or tried to enter to this point. don't see anything past here, Kai.
What do they have to say? Anything? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to his wife. She says it was just him and her arguing. That he's been drinking all day.
A trail of blood led from the garage into the kitchen, suggesting Shane Davis was either moved after being shot or had tried to escape, casting serious doubt on Victoria's version of events.
Okay.
Detectives pressed on, unaware that everyone but them knew who had shot Shane and why the gun was still missing.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how well you guys know him, but he scares the living hell out of me.
Alrighty.
Since I do have a 2-year-old in my home, I will do whatever it takes in my power to protect my daughter at any cost necessary.
Take her to jail. Take her to jail. There it is. That should have solidified it. That should have solidified. No one's Yo, here's my problem, right? My problem with this chick is that no one's even saying anything. She's self-reporting. She's self-sabotaging. She dry snitching. She's dry snitching, yo. She doing the dry snitching method. She like, man, you know, like me personally, I'm doing everything I can, but it wasn't me though. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. These are cops.
Now you said Shane did have a pistol from what you told me.
He has a pistol. It's in my room. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, just take me where and I'll look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, we do have...
Is she getting defensive?
He has his own gun, and I have a rifle.
Okay.
So they're both in here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the house?
Yeah, his is right there.
Okay.
So that's his.
Set that right there.
And I have a rifle, which is...
Okay, you can leave it right there, that's fine. What caliber?
7mm 08.
Neither of these have been fired. And these are supposedly the only 2 in the home. And we may have a shooter somewhere.
Cox examined the rounds in each gun and concluded that none had been fired. With this revelation, the detectives
Yo, you can easily just check for fingerprints, right?
returned to question the was about to accidentally reveal a crucial piece of information pointing directly to the shooter.
Okay.
Well, do me a favor, guys. Just everybody hang tight right here. I'm gonna come back and get a statement from everybody. And
well, I don't know where my other partner is. I have 2. I'm polyamorous. He's been gone for a while though, long beforehand.
Okay.
So he left earlier today and has been out and about for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, just hang tight right here, guys.
But just as the officers were about to leave, one of the residents revealed that Victoria's secret lover despised Shane and was seen leaving the house around the time of the shooting. He identified the man as Mike Miller, someone well known to police for his considerable...
Yo, these people look exactly how you'd expect them to look, bro. Like, you would walk past this dude on the street and you'd just be like, yeah, I don't know. Something's fishy going on here, man. Like, yo, the people that be moving like this,
finally,
exactly
the police have a lead, marking the start of the hunt for their primary suspect. Okay. The officers were now on the lookout for Mike, a likely suspect in Shane's death, or at the very least, someone with answers. A few hours later, after searching the nearby area, one car's license plate matched 27-year-old Mike Miller. To their surprise, Mike was compliant when approached and even agreed to come to the station for questioning. Okay. But while the officers expected denials and deflection, he would tell police exactly what had gone down.
And he was already in jail.
He to walk towards me and ended up going through the garage. I know she tried to keep him out of the house by keeping him pinned to the door. For a minute, she kind of kept him there, and then he got kind of pretty physical with her. He grabbed her wrist and he shoved her. And I told him, like, Shane, I will shoot you. You need to let her go. He wouldn't listen. I did what I did to protect him. I shot him.
Without any pushback from the detectives, Mike admitted point blank that he shot Shane. But there was a reason for his unusual honesty. He would soon claim it was all in self-defense.
She had me go tell him to shut the truck off, and I looked at him like, dude, I'm just telling you what I was told to tell you. Because he does tend to, at times, get kind of physical when he's drinking.
Okay.
I wasn't going to just sit there and let him hurt the woman I love. I saw him as a threat to that household and to that child, and I did what I thought I had to do to protect him. I shot him. Pure self-defense and protection for that household.
Fair enough.
Despite Mike's apparent honesty, the police know he isn't telling the whole story, although for now, they let him believe he's off the hook. But before the officers can apply pressure, Mike introduces a new name, someone supposedly even more dangerous than Shane.
Sean, who he was on the phone with, he had called her a bitch quite a few times. She had given the warning to Sean that if he came here, it wasn't going to end well. From what I understand, Sean is a very violent person. And Shane kind of said something to Sean, saying, he's like, you know what, Sean, go ahead and come down here. That then there posed a threat on the household because Sean wasn't going to come down here and just talk everything out. He would be armed, and he was going to come down here for a fight.
According to Mike, Sean was a friend of...
Yo, this build is crazy. I'm just looking at it. This is a crazy build.
Shane's, who was moments away from arriving at the house, armed and ready for a fight. But since Mike had spent 5 hours on the run after the shooting, it's possible Victoria instructed him to tell the police this story and perhaps even to claim self-defense.
Okay.
However, Mike's self-defense argument was far weaker.
He's sitting in the chair with both knees in. Yeah, go ahead and send him to prison.
Than he realized, and the detectives began pressing him on it.
Why did you immediately go to the gun rather than try to physically stop him? Because there's two of you and just one of him.
The light wasn't on, and like I said, it's really cluttered in that garage, so I would have ended up falling and stumbling.
Hindsight 2020, is there a way that you would have handled this differently?
Yes, if he hadn't been so stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, but rather with using the weapon.
And that's something I thought about throughout the night while I was driving, is that I probably could have handled that a lot differently, but like I said, he was already getting fairly aggressive with everyone else and pretty loud.
As the officer points out, with multiple men in the home, subduing Shane wasn't just possible, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
By now, Mike and Victoria's relationship seemed increasingly strange, and the officer realized this was likely something they would want to push on. And he was right.
So has there been any, like, jealousy squabbles between you and Shane? I mean, have you, like, seen him with Victoria and became jealous?
We've had our moments where, you know, he wasn't really given a choice. Everything had came out that me and Victoria were together and had been together for quite some time and whatnot. She basically told him she was staying with me, and that was that. He was going to have to deal with it or, you know, end the relationship.
Just as the officer suspected, jealousy and rage explained Mike's actions far better than self-defense. With their primary suspect now in custody, devastating news arrived from the hospital. Shane had passed away. As Mike prepared to be charged with manslaughter, Victoria believed her brilliant plan had succeeded and that she had outsmarted the police. But little did she know, her arrogance would eventually catch up with her. It's now 1 month after Shane's death, and Victoria is still living in his house, driving his car, and carrying on as if nothing had happened. She frequently visits Mike in jail and writes Facebook posts about how much she misses Shane. It seems that fateful night was behind her, and Victoria was free to live her dream life. But that was until something completely unexpected happened.
What happened?
On November 7th, the detectives received an anonymous tip to check Victoria's Snapchat account. While they weren't expecting much, after all, their primary suspect was already in custody, the investigation was about to be turned upside down. Unbeknownst to the police, Victoria had been planning Shane's murder for months over Snapchat with Mike. While Mike may have pulled the trigger, the messages made it clear that Victoria was the mastermind. With this new evidence showing that Victoria had conspired with Mike and encouraged Shane's murder, the detectives were ready to bring her in. Although Victoria remained arrogant, still convinced her plan was flawless, the police now had enough proof to completely
pack of Marlboro Reds, GG's, send her to prison.
Dismantle her.
So, I mean, were there ever times that you and Mike talked about Shane together and that you were both upset with him because of things he was doing?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Just the way that he was acting and his behaviors at hand, and that if it was going to continue on, that we were going to sit down and sit there and say no more alcohol allowed in the house at all.
Mike had multiple usernames on Snapchat. Do you remember Devil Daddy 13?
That might be one of his.
You ever remember having a conversation with Mike about Shane when he was using that Demo Daddy 13?
Not off the top of my head.
Victoria's voice goes quiet, the question likely sending her mind racing through every conversation she had with Mike. With Victoria scrambling to collect herself, the detectives were about to confront her with every incriminating message they had. But little did they know, Victoria's arrogance would persist, still believing she could walk free without facing the consequences.
So, I want to show you this.
Okay.
And maybe I can jog your memory too, I don't know. This is those snaps between Devil Daddy and Rebel Princess. Everything that I reached between you and Mike. He said, some days I just wish you would get in an accident or something. So,
I didn't have to deal with this crap.
but let's just read through these, Victoria.
Okay.
So, cut your wrist to get caught.
It was supposed to say too much of a risk, your dumb ass would get caught.
So then,
No one is falling for that. Yo. No one is falling for that. Imagine, right? You on trial for something and proof comes up and you like, man, I'm finna put a gun to that dude's head and I'm finna shoot him, right? And then they reading out the text and then you out here talking about, nah, bro, it said, I'm finna put something to that dude's head and then I'm gonna sue him, like press charges. No one is falling for that, yo. No one is falling for that.
Mike responds back to you. It can be done if done right, and it wouldn't be hard to do. And then you responded back to him saying,
Yeah.
not without getting caught or guilt.
And that's where I'm sitting here trying to convince him, like, no, you're not doing this. One, you're going to get caught. Two, you're going to feel hella guilty.
Look, she's starting to, look, she's starting to stutter, she's starting to get nervous, her heart's starting to race, I feel it. I feel it, I peep it.
Getting caught wouldn't be an issue. Going doesn't carry guilt with me. Person has no hold on me. Mike reports back to you there's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like natural causes based off his depression and all that's going through his head. I've done it to my dad before, not enough to kill him, but enough to get a point across and make a difference. And to the point, and if he dies, he can't defend himself. We can all say he's been acting hella different. The right story by everyone can dismiss it all, and then you say, I'd rather it look an accident. It's the only way. I'm going to keep house.
Jeez,
We're sitting here, and I only want one thing from you, and one thing only. I want the truth.
You didn't even expect us to have those.
Needless to say, Victoria indeed wasn't expecting this. Corporal Cox has just revealed a conversation from 2 weeks before Shane's murder in which Victoria explicitly expresses her wish for his death. Her intent is clear as day. I'd rather it look like an accident. It's the only way. Other messages, such as touch your wrist to get caught, reveal the meticulous planning that went into Shane's murder. Victoria is naive enough to try and explain the messages away, even claiming that she was actually trying to dissuade Mike from shooting Shane. But despite the overwhelming evidence, Victoria still had a plan to slip out of this predicament.
Victoria, I can tell things are weighing heavy on your mind.
There was a lot of abuse with me and Shane, but that doesn't mean that I ever wanted to leave. And I'm also...
You would unironically be in a better chance if you were like, Shane abused me a lot and that's why I had all that happen. You would unironically be in a better position than what you're trying to say right now.
Circumstances, did we plan for this to happen? What went through Mike's head that night that it went all down, I don't know. Shane gets to drinking, he gets violent, and he gets terrifying. I know it's conversation, but at the tail end of that relationship with Shane, it did feel like I was trapped. That night, it just went way too far.
Shane gets shot and he falls down. Who helps him? Anybody try to stop his bleeding?
No, I can't handle blood, and he wouldn't let me touch him anyways. All he did was grunt and make weird noises.
What is it that T-Banks be doing? Put a little butter on her. Season her up just a little bit. Add a little bit of lemon, right? We're not going to fry it. I don't do fried food. But what we is going to do, we're going to toss it on the grill. She's cooked.
You can't explain that, Victoria. This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Except you're talking about murdering your husband with your lover. We're making this right for Shane. Shane's the victim here.
Yes.
And I understand that, but I didn't plan my husband's murder.
How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously.
Oh,
How
Lord.
often have you had these conversations with people?
You're telling me that you're a person.
Yo, unrelated though, white folks have the most undefeated sayings. Oh, good Lord. You silly goot. Like, yo, white people be having those undefeated sayings. I gotta give them that.
Perfect person, and you've never done a single wrong thing in your life?
No. I have
Or
never
made a wrong
Look at that. Nah, look at this count. That man said no.
done a single wrong
That man
thing
said
in your
no.
life?
No. I have
Or made a
never
Crazy
wrong
word.
never talked about
Okay, but you've never sat there and made a wrong retort.
Remember what I told you Shane was dead that morning?
Yeah.
You remember what you said back to me?
No.
He does.
And you actually said to me you were worried about losing your house. Your husband just died and told you that. Do you think those things planted the seed in Mike?
And it might have. So planting the seed in there, possibly. I very well might have without even intending to do so. 90% of that, yes, was smart out remarks. Can I please go?
I'll tell you this right now, absolutely no. What I have for you is an arrest warrant signed by the 5th District Court Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, you are being placed under arrest right now.
No more Marlboro Reds for
Tell
you.
my husband, and that will come up, and I will sit there and make sure of it. You guys are making a huge mistake.
Victoria finally admits to planting the idea of murdering Shane in Mike's head. Unbeknownst to her, Corporal Cox has masterfully coaxed her into confessing and sealing the fate of her secret lover. Months after the murder, Victoria was finally arrested and escorted to Beaver County Jail.
Yeah, this was in the deep south. This was in the deep south. This was the type of South that my mama was raised in. This South right here, Beaver County. Yeah, nah, GG's.
Same facility where her lover was being held. Mike Miller pled down from murder to manslaughter and received a sentence of 8 years to life.
Okay.
Victoria Worth was convicted of criminal solicitation and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder and sentenced to 3 years to life in prison.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, that was dope. Alrighty, that was Racist Killer Realizes Cops Found Her Disturbing Secret. This was by Insanity Body Cam. If you want to see this video or more videos like this, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed his video, go check out his content or their content. But with that being said, God bless.
Stay down, came up, God made a way. Stay down, came up, God made a way. God made a way, let me tell you about it. You can sit and wait around or you can make it happen. I've been walking in the spirit, ain't no way around it. And it's up, yeah, and it's up.